The new right. First, I want you to start with what is it, because I used to come on the show, and I remember when Trump won, I had some early monologues that I think have held up very well about how get ready for the alt-right and white nationalism to be dramatically inflated as a threat to the country, and the 15 morons who will show up at a KKK rally somewhere are representative of millions and millions of it. It's not true, but what is what is the new right, Mr. Malice?
Well, I would just point out the 100 senators supposed to be representative of 350 million Americans. So numbers aren't always a good metric.
That's true. And also, as I tell people in the Russian Civil War, the Bolsheviks never had popular support, never a majority.
And also how many people were there in 9/11. So sometimes when you have a small group, they might have very dangerous. Small
groups change the future.
And have very dangerous impact. So the new right, as I define the book, let me see if I could get it exactly correct, is a loosely connected group of individuals united by their opposition to progressivism, which they perceive to be a thinly veiled religion based on egalitarian principles and intent on world domination via globalist hegemony. So within this sphere, you are going to have these white nationalists and KKK types, as you say, but you're also going to have all sorts of other heretical thinkers, and the only thing they have in common is who they see the enemy as and what they see the nature of that enemy to be.
I got to say the last part about a thinly veiled religion, it's a pretty accurate description of progressivism these days.
And
it's not possible to believe things that people are saying on the Democratic stage, for example, about the world ending and cities being underwater. That's a religious belief. I mean, no normal, rational person really thinks that that's happening.
Well, it's literally a religious belief, and that most religions have some kind of apocalypse
Correct,
end the world scenario. In fact, I tweeted this yesterday. There was an article from 1989 from the Associated Press. You can look at my Twitter, talking about how if we don't get this under control by 2000, major cities will be underwater. So this has been a claim now for 30 years. And, I was on Rogan discussing this. If these people believed it, the best metric for if someone believes something is look at their actions. If you say you like someone,
be careful on the table, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's going to sound like you're pounding it. Go ahead.
Like Khrushchev, like Grandpa Khrushchev. If this were true, then we would see real estate values on the coastlines would collapse because those people are putting their money in, and instead beachfront properties rates have gone through the roof as you would expect. So they obviously, and here's the other example I always use because I'm not a scientist, you're not a scientist. If there were, for example, a meteor about to hit the Earth, and in 20 years all life might end, the only thing anyone in the Senate or House or the president will be talking about is the meteor. What do we do about the meteor? The meteor, right? There's no other conversation. There's complete bipartisanship. The fact that we're discussing so-called kids in cages means that there is not a sincere belief that this is an imminent existential threat to all life.
This is a point I made about the most recent Democratic debate. You've got you have to be a Democrat now in good standing. There are a few things that you must say, or else you are out. You are voted off the island. Abortion's clearly one of them, but also climate change is now one of them. If you don't say I believe in climate change, which is a very strange thing to say about what's supposed to be a scientific and really scientific / policy discussion, why does it believe? Then why not? Why would you even use that term? I think it's seeped into people's minds that this is more than just science and discussion. But if they really thought these things, as you point out, then when Barack Obama was president and had not just a majority in the House and Senate, but a filibuster-proof majority in the Senate, they did nothing. They passed no legislation.
Well, Solyndra.
Whatsoever. Well, I mean, but that's, that's not an act of Congress to
Right.
deal with climate change, right?
Right.
I mean, it's so we're supposed to believe them now. And this is and yet, if you tell liberals this, they don't react with, "Oh, poor you don't understand." They don't dismiss you. They certainly don't say, "Well, you're entitled to your opinion." They react with rage.
Right.
They are rageful about their psychosis.
Well, I don't think it's psychosis. I think it's something that they've been trained to accept and believe. And here's another counterexample.
You don't think that people do they believe the world's going to end or not? I mean, do the adults that think that Greta Thunberg running around, a 16-year-old lecturing us on trillions of dollars changing hands in the economy, really trillions of dollars of wealth destroyed, is it all just a scam? Do they know it's a scam? Like, I think CNN's audience, and I actually just talked about this earlier on the show, CNN's audience knows that the anchors are all liberals. They know that getting Trump is the game. They know this.
No, they don't.
I used to work there. I'm telling you, most
The
of them,
audience?
The audience knows.
No, the audience.
They're in on it. As long as they're trying to tear Trump down, they're fine with it.
I think the audience, I don't think liberals, as you call them, perceive themselves as liberals. I think they perceive themselves as sane and normal. And much of the corporate media is there to present the idea that all right-thinking people think these very basic ideas. And if you don't think these very basic ideas, even Republicans like Anna Navarro and Bill Kristol, then there is something fundamentally wrong with your thinking, and it's based on either insanity or hatred.